Hey everyone, and welcome to 121 in Flux. I am Peter, that is Connor, and we talk about movies on this show. And this is actually the episode where we talk about the Patreon vote winner. Every month on Patreon, we have 4 options to go up into a vote. Usually it's themed in some way, and in this particular case it was themed with space movies, because there's a little film this month, something to do with space monks and
little
light swords or something like that. So we had space movies up for our patrons to vote on, and the winner was Galaxy Quest, which is of course a film that kind of takes the idea of what if the cast of Star Trek got taken by a nice race of aliens to help them defend themselves against an evil race of aliens. That is the premise. So, very, obviously it's like a bit of a parody. It's kind of a love letter to the genre. And that's kind of what it is. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to start off spoiler free. We'll get into spoilers somewhere in the middle. We'll give you a warning before we do. But that's what we're going to do. So yeah, so we're going to talk about Galaxy Quest. So Galaxy Quest, yeah, as I kind of implied there, the plot is fairly simple. You had this show called Galaxy Quest, which was on in the early 80s, and we cut to present day, and we have Tim Allen as the sort of commander. We got a very notable cast. We got Tim Allen, Sigourney Weaver, Alan Rickman, Tony Shalhoub, Sam Rockwell's in there, Enrico Colantoni is in there. If you don't know who that is, that's Veronica Mars's dad. He's like the main alien who like comes to recruit them. But they're at like convention. They're Tim Allen kind of loves the spotlight, whereas the rest are kind of disgruntled. Alan Rickman's like a proper actor. He's a serious thespian who's upset that he's still put on this makeup.
It's funny how for most of them you can go, I know which Star Trek character, like actor they are. It's really most of them are really clear.
Yeah, I mean obviously Tim Allen's Kirk. He's Shatner.
Yeah, of course. Alan Rickman, I would say, is Patrick Stewart.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
In the way that
yeah.
he's a proper actor and kind of resents being famous for the sci-fi role.
Yeah, is he actually that bitter though?
He's not anymore, but he did used to be relatively bitter about it. Yeah.
All right. Okay, I can see it. So you got all your sort of your characters there, and basically this alien race like contacts them, or specifically Tim Allen, thinking that Galaxy Quest is a historical record. It's not, it's not fake. It's a real thing, and they want to help with negotiating with this evil character, this green lobster-looking, not lobster, lizardy, yeah, looking thing. This evil bad guy, and they're like, yeah, you Cyrus here, that's the villain's name. You negotiate with him, and he thinks it's a job. He thinks he's been taken in a limo to this like set. He's like, oh, this is quite a good set. Usually you like college students or whoever usually pays me for these things. Oh, it's usually cardboard in a garage or whatever. But no, this is quite good. And he just kind of he's kind of hung over. He's like, oh, just like, yeah, fire these things, fire that, give him all the barrels, do all that. I think it's still thinking it's fake until they beam him back down to Earth, and he realizes, oh crap, I was flying through space there, and it's all real. And he tries to tell his castmates, who are all pissed at him for showing up late to another thing, and he's like, oh, there's another job, they want me back, all of you should come. So they all come, including Sam Rockwell's character, who was just an extra on one episode.
He was a red shirt.
He was a red shirt, yeah. We had a red shirt. And they all get beamed into space, into the spaceship, and they're all freaking out. And then the plot of the movie really gets going, which is they then have to try and help them fight against Cyrus and his army and save their race, because they're going to be annihilated off the face of the galaxy. And it plays through various Star Trek tropes. It plays through various kind of moments from sci-fi shows, and pokes fun at different ideas. Some of which are very meta, some of which aren't, and that's kind of the whole thing.
The thing I'd say you're overlooking is, yeah, it pokes a lot of the Star Trek tropes and things like that, but it also has a critique on fandom itself.
It does, but I think the ultimate point of movie is not critical of fandom.
It's not critical, but more of an observation.
Because I actually think the overall message of the movie is like, is actually embracing what you love, because that's the whole idea. Because obviously you've got these aliens who think it's all real, and then eventually they have to learn that it's not. But ultimately, I mean, no spoilers yet, but I don't think this is a spoiler to say that in the end, they save the day. It's a light-hearted movie. This is not everyone dies at the end. It's not that type of movie. But ultimately, they kind of believe it again at the end. It's like, you were just joking about it all being fake, because it all worked out. And I think it's maybe like a kind of almost a love letter to like just embracing your imagination and running wild with it.
When I say it's critical of fandom, I don't mean that it's saying fandom is a bad thing. I just mean it looks at the aspects of fandom and how that plays in.
I think it's a much more endearing message, though. The way you said it sounded.
Critique, I don't think, is inherently negative.
No, you said critical of fandom.
Did I?
I think you did. That's what I heard anyway.
I thought I said critique. Maybe I'm just wrong.
But the point I'm making, though, is it's very much about because I can almost see these aliens standing in for young people who watch the show or watch anything, watch Power Rangers, watch Turtles, whatever. Take your pick. And how this lets them escape, and it lets them like go nuts with their imagination. Like, even sure, the stories might not be real, but it inspires them to maybe be better people, because they learn about a lot of things from these shows. They learn, because that's the thing, is that the alien race even says, we learn to like support one another, and like camaraderie, and like being brave. These were all concepts that we learned from you.
It was a mess until they kind of looked at this as a basis.
Exactly. So there's a lot of nice messages where, this might all be silly at essence, but it actually inspires a lot of good things if you take it the right way. I think that's why I think as much as this is making fun of a lot of tropes and all the rest of it, I think it's actually more of a love letter than other things. It's kind of like how Shaun of the Dead is to zombie. This is not a scary movie. This is not a spoof. I don't like the word spoof with this. It's a parody, but it's not a spoof.
I agree with that.
Yeah. At least in my definition of a spoof. If someone wants to actually hit me with the dictionary about what spoof actually means, it may actually fall into that category, but I don't care. I know
for the purpose of this discussion, it's not one.
It's not a spoof. A spoof to me is scary movie and epic movie and disaster movie and all those other movies that have
anything
the word
that ends with movie.
Yeah. That's what those
are.
I
hate all of those. Superhero movie, that one was shite.
I'm happy to say that I never saw that, or most of the ones we've just mentioned. I saw a few of the scary movies, and I saw maybe Not Another Teen Movie. I think I saw that.
I didn't see that one.
That's actually really weird, because Chris Evans is in that. Before he went on to do any of the big stuff that he did, which is weird. But
how bad's that one?
It's been too long since I've seen it to really actually be that critical on it. But I don't remember it being any good.
As expected, then.
Yeah. I can't be specific about it, but so you get this love letter. Kind of like I said, Shaun of the Dead is to zombie movies and horror movies. This is a love letter to these types of sci-fi shows, even though it is kind of it's got this nice thing where the characters themselves also kind of become better people because of the show. It's almost like they've been looking at it the wrong way through this lens their entire life, and then actually living through it, they go, oh no, wait a minute, like we achieved, we were achieving something. We get why people love this now. Whereas before maybe the magic was gone.
Before it was a job.
So it's doing all that stuff. So I mean, it's probably obvious, but Connor, do you enjoy Galaxy Quest?
Yeah. Kind of a stupid question, isn't it?
It is a bit of a stupid question. Galaxy Quest is great. It's funny because it's a movie that I remember seeing around when it came out, but I was really young, and I think I liked it at the time, but I didn't really necessarily get what it was doing. I just liked it because it was funny. But now
you're older and you've seen these sorts of shows, you get what it's doing.
Yeah, when I went back and watched it again when I was like 18, 19, later on, because this came out in 1999, so I was like 10 when it first came out. But when I went back later on when I was a bit older, it was like discovering this gem of like, oh, this is actually really good. Like, this is doing a lot of really smart little things. This is great. And it's full of, we'll talk about these more in spoilers, because I don't want to spoil any of the jokes specifically, but there's a lot of like poking fun at very specific things that would happen on a TV show.
There is lots of things, and very pointing fun of the actors as well.
Yeah,
like like very specifically going on. No, this is something X actor would have said, and and we know through reputation of, again, something that you wouldn't get when you're younger and don't really know about these things. But as you get older, you hear these behind the scenes stories, and you're kind of like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, it's because even just the running line for Alan Rickman's character is that he's got a catchphrase that he hates saying. He hates that everyone wants him to say this one catchphrase, and he's determined never to say it. So there's the inevitable moment later on when he does finally say it without it being forced or without it being something he's been forced to, to say it ironically or whatever. Like, he genuinely just says it in the moment, and it's like this big fist pumping hell yeah kind of thing, because it's like, yes, he's come full
finally.
circle.
Yeah.
But the start of the movie, like he's great. Like, his cynicism, he's probably my favorite character in the movie. Actually, the way he just kind of hates everything. He hates everything about himself.
So relatable.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, Alan Rickman's great, of course. Like, he's fantastic. So yeah, he's good. Everyone's good. Like, Sigourney Weaver's good. She's the ditzy blonde whose job it is to read what it's. She's basically Troy
Ahura.
from. No, she's not Ahura.
Do you not think?
No, because I mean, we've not got to Next Gen yet. Because for those who don't know, we're working our way through the original Star Trek show, and we're going to go into Next Gen afterwards. But I've seen a little bit of Next Gen, and I've seen the movies from Next Gen. Troy's whole thing is that she was an empath. So basically, what would happen is the bad guy would yell at Picard, and then she would lean over and go, "I sense he's very angry, Captain." Okay. No, so I was getting her from this.
Okay, I feel that way about, like, as the actress though, of like, okay, no, this is all I ever did. She stood at the computer and read what the computer said.
Oh sure, yeah, I can see that.
That still works.
I was getting more Troy, but I can see why you'd go that way. I think it's specifically because you hear like, in the sense that, at least with Uhura, you never heard what the computer said, so you just hear her say it. Whereas
that's true.
With Troy from Next Generation, you always knew exactly what the person was feeling anyway. You got it. And then she would say, he's very angry, Captain. I was like, oh, no shit. Thanks for the insight.
Oh, okay. I'm with you.
But yeah, like I say, I think obviously, Sam Rockwell's great. It's a very early Sam Rockwell role, actually, because he's young here. Yeah. 1999.
Do you know who else I noticed who was in it that was also, really young?
Rainn Wilson.
Yeah. I was like, I did a daughter. I was like, oh, Rainn Wilson. I was like, no, sorry. I was like, it is him.
Yeah, he's one of the aliens. He's a little bit slimmer. It's funny how he's actually on Star Trek now.
It is.
We've come full circle. He's actually on a Star Trek show. Yeah. You get a young Justin Long. He's like this nerdy kid who's into the show and wants to talk about schematics and the way the ship works with Tim Allen. Yeah. Everyone's kind of perfect. It's actually a really perfectly cast movie.
It is. Very
perfectly cast across the board. And it's a very nice looking movie, actually. The effects are pretty good.
Yeah, definitely. It's rare that anything sticks out as, especially for the time, it's rare that anything sticks out as looking bad.
Yeah, there's stuff that I know is CG, but it never stuck out as being, there's a rock monster at one point. I'm like, yeah, that's obviously CG, but it never felt like, or E.
I think, like I said, when this came out, I could look at CG from that time now, and a lot of it I'm like, ooh.
Yeah.
But it's just like, okay, it's CG, but it's not bad.
It's held up well enough visually, I think.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. I love that the TV show and the movie has a theme tune, and then that it gets used in the score in a number of different ways as it goes
nice
throughout.
Touches.
Yeah. I think it's a very tightly scripted movie. I think it's very here's the limited convention, here's how all the characters are. Just by seeing all the other characters argue about Tim Allen, you get who he is to them, but it also brings out how each of these people are. You see kind of exactly who they are and how they're all frustrated with a thing, and how Tommy, he's
the
pilot, who's I'm forgetting his name from Next Gen, who he basically is.
Yeah,
but with the eye thing.
Yeah.
I want to say LaForge. I might be completely wrong there. But anyway, but he was a kid in the show, but now he's an adult, so he's got this whole thing. So that very well cast. It's a very tight script. I think it neatly interweaves all of its jokes to its core plot. It's kind of that perfect kind of comedy for me, where kind of like Ghostbusters. It's actually got a plot. It's not just a vehicle for jokes.
Okay, you're not a fan of those.
I can be. But I think a lot of my favourites tend to be ones that actually have plots with heart, because I think this movie has heart. It has actual.
It does, yeah.
Has a nice kind of message. I love the idea that Sam Rockwell constantly thinks he's going to die because that's what he did in the episode. He thinks because he's the disposable crewman number 6 that he's probably going to die.
He says it himself. He's the guy that died before the first commercial breaks to prove how big the stakes are.
Yeah, that's who he is. So again, them playing with that's really, especially when other characters start to reference it. I think at one point Sigourney Weaver shouts out, "Let's do something before Guy dies."
Yeah. There's actually a really nice touch with it later on as well.
Yeah.
That I'll get to.
Yeah, so no, it's very tightly scripted. Like I say, it weaves in and out of its own plot, and it does have a heart. Like I think later on when Tim Allen has to kind of confess that the show's not real to the aliens, it's actually kind of a heartbreaking scene.
Yeah, because he's kind of been hanging on to it. That's kind of been the thing with the conventions is. All the others are like, yeah, okay, this is a job. But he's kind of getting into it. He's, again, part of it, he loves the attention, but he does interact really well with the fans on a personal level as well.
Until he overhears some people making fun of him, and then he loses all of his mojo.
Yeah, yeah. Which, again, that's one of those things that now is one of those that I know famously, like that happened to Shatner. Where he had that, like, pretty much that exact moment of overhearing that in the bathroom.
Yeah. So no, I think I'll say spoilers at this point just so we can talk freely. Even though there's nothing specific right now that I want to spoil, I feel like there's not a lot to spoil other than specific jokes.
Yeah,
because the plot, I think you see what the plot's going to be quite quickly.
Yeah, definitely.
You have to. I mean, so full spoilers, but the moment they mention this, what is it, the Omega-3 or whatever it is, this
13.
device.
I know it's 13.
The 13.
13 seconds is the same as the name.
There you go. And you're like, okay, what's this going to do? As soon as they mention that it turns back time 13 seconds, you're like, well, I'm waiting for everyone to die and then Tim Allen to turn time back so he can fix it.
That was a really funny moment. Everyone dies except Sam Rockwell's character.
That's a very good point.
I caught that. I was like, he doesn't get shot. He doesn't get killed in that sequence, which
the only
I thought was great, given the whole thing is he's worrying about it the whole time.
Yeah, I love at the end when you see that the show's back and you get the new opening titles, and it's it's in widescreen, because at the start of the movie when you see the old one it's all 4:3, but now it's now it's all widescreen, and it's got the jazzed up version of the theme, and it's introducing all the characters, and he just walks out at the end and like points at the camera like that, and it's like the security chief officer. Yeah. He's got
his nickname was Rock.
Yeah, that was the thing. He had a nickname in the middle. It's like he's the only one who had that. It was just like he's been promoted. How nice.
Yeah. Going through the real adventure, they were like, he's coming with us.
Yeah, even Tony Shalhoub's alien girlfriend's on the show now. Which, by the way, I like that she was credited as Jane Doe. That was a really nice little touch.
Yeah, I like that too.
Nice little touch. But there's so many inventive little moments that crack me up. Like when they're like, so they all split up when they're trying to save everyone, like get into the third act. And Tim Allen and Sigourney Weaver are like trying to get to the core of the ship to turn off the bomb that's been set up, and they get they set up early on that Justin Long gets one of the communicators, so he's like talking to him. He's like, right, you know this ship, you know how to get to these places, so he's helping him over the comms, and they get to this hallway that it's all these like chompers, the big like just things like closing in, and like it's basically just this death room that has no purpose, but they point it out. Sigourney Weaver's like, why is there a reason for this in the ship? There's no purpose for this room to exist. It's like, well, it was on the episode. It's like, I'm going to kill that writer. Like this is stupid.
Yeah, it's just like, that was a shit episode.
Yeah, but I think my favourite one though is when they actually they disarm the bomb, but it keeps counting down, so they start saying their goodbyes, and they're almost about to admit that they have feelings for each other, and then they look over, nothing's happened, and it just stopped at one. It's like, it always stops at one on the show.
Yeah, that's good. Also, when they're on the way down there, then they have to go through the air ducts, and she goes, "Oh, it's always the air ducts." Is that meant to be an Alien reference? Because I don't think there's anything specific to any of these shows. But I've never seen a lot of these shows be a lot with air ducts, but that movie specifically has a lot of it.
There's been one or two in Star Trek, at least from what we've seen so far. I think it's
it's not heavy, is it?
I think it's less of an alien. I mean, maybe it could be. It feels more like a generic, just general sci-fi reference to me, though.
Yeah.
Or even just movie reference. Like, how many movies with buildings do we have air duct sneaking around?
No, it's true, it is. But obviously, your mind leaks to the ones who are saying it.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing actually is when she's called it, because she keeps repeating what the computer's saying at one point after they've had their first kind of encounter, and Tommy's like, that is getting really annoyed. He's like, look, I've got one job on this stupid ship, and it's silly, but goddamn it, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
And she just keeps repeating the computer. It's really, like, it's full of delightful things like that.
I did like how no one else could ask the computer anything either. Like, like they would address the computer. They would say, "Computer, this," and nothing would happen until she asked it.
Yeah, no, that's good. They're just little things like they're at like the cafeteria and everyone's eating, and they've based the diets based on what their characters would like. So Tim Allen's got a nice big steak, but you get to Alan Rickman because he's meant to be an alien, and it's these like weird scorpion things that he's supposed to be eating that are like actually moving around in this little dirty looking soup. Yeah.
Oh, looks hideous to eat.
In fact, one of my favourite simple little gags, really simple, and it's all in the reaction. It's basically the first time they got on the bridge, and Tommy kind of jokes, he's like, best of luck to you, Captain, I'd hate to be in your position. And then Tim Allen just looks over and goes like, take us out. And he's like, excuse me? He's like, I gotta fly the ship. Just his reaction to actually, like, you have to actually take the ship out of the dock, just
and then
cracks
just
me
scraping along the edge all the way out.
Yeah. Well, no, what gets me is like everyone else on the bridge is going like this. Just trying to like envision it going, more to the right.
Yeah. And you've got Tim Allen doing his Shatner pose, the one with the arm out on the arm.
Yeah. No, I mean that's all this is. It's just all these little moments and these love letters. But like I say, it's got a heart. It's got the whole thing where you actually genuinely care about these aliens because they have no home world to go back to. They're so thankful for all the help that they're getting, and they try to explain, like, because they're asking, like, does no one on your planet ever do anything? Because they make a little joke where like, have you seen all the historical records? And they mention Gilligan's Island. Is like, those poor people, and they all get really sad because as if it really happened.
Yeah.
And so they try to say, does no one on your planet do anything that's pretend? Like, do you mean lie and deceit? Well, we were never familiar with those terms until Sarek started doing like these awful things where he says he'll help us and then tries to kill us. So to them, it's just as simple as lying. They don't understand the idea of doing it for entertainment. So like I said, I alluded to this earlier, but that scene later on, when Sarek realizes what they are, is like, no, I'm going to watch this. You tell him what you are and what
I like that he's well aware what entertainment is. He sees it and he goes, you're all actors. You poor idiots.
But
it makes me laugh.
No, but his reaction to him saying that it's all been a lie is heartbreaking. Like,
you just get that noise that they make.
Yeah, so they actually become heroes because you see that horrific thing where like all the aliens are like suffocating in the room, and that's when Alan Rickman and the one he's kind of befriended dies, and that's when we get his sort of moment of by Grathbar's hammer I will avenge you. Yeah, did you see that?
Nice touch with Alan Rickman is I like how the headpiece is kind of getting more worn away as it goes on. Yeah, it's kind of coming loose.
Yeah, I think early on you start to see the line of where it attaches, but which makes sense because it's meant to be fake. But when you get to the end of the movie, he's got like tufts of grey hair like sticking out of various
it's kind of
parts.
curling up at the front, like of where it's coming loose.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch. I mean, all of them get kind of more disheveled. By the end of the movie, Tim Allen's just got a black shirt. He's like kind of the hero with a black shirt on.
Because he lost his shirt.
Yeah,
because the shirt comes off as always.
Yeah. I wonder who that's referencing.
Yeah. Is that whoever could it be?
But it's a nice moment because they think he's going to die, and they teleport him up just in time. And he's like, "See, you got your shirt off," but it's kind of like a friendly thing. It's like as he's going for a hug.
It's like this again.
Yeah, no, it's cool. Thanks. Even the little aliens that end up being scary as shit.
Those things are awesome.
Oh, they're helping the injured one. Oh, how nice! And then they start eating them.
I like how when they come over to Tim Allen, he's lying on the floor. They're like, the aliens or sometimes of course they're like, oh, he looks like a child. What should we do? Hit him with a rock and eat him.
I like how we just get subtitles for that one bit. Just here's what the aliens are saying to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, what's my cat wanting? My cat's looking at me and making noises. No, so. You get a big climax. You got everyone helping. They end up crashing into the convention center. Yeah, and they end up coming out of the ship one by one, like they did at the start. But this time they're all like messed up because they've all just went through this battle. They've almost died multiple times, and everyone's cheering, and Tim Allen finally gets to do his role into like fire on the phaser.
Yeah, because Cyrus comes out after them.
Yeah, because that was the thing back in the Rock Planet, because they damaged the ship so badly that they have to go and get the. I can't remember what they called it, but I'm just going to call it the dilithium crystal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it is from Star Trek.
Some sort of sphere. It was in this.
But they're talking about their plan, and then Tim Allen starts doing rolls as if he's trying to hide, and everyone else is just walking like, do those rolls help? Like, do they help like, in any way? It's like, yes, they do, in fact.
Oh, it was cracking me up.
Yeah. He's really into it. He really, likes being like this real. And it's kind of this thing where he's this washed up actor who only gets to do like, like conventions, like, store openings, signings, these kind of things. It's this idea that even though it's real and it's not really what he was doing all that time ago, that he feels alive again because he gets to be this. He gets to feel like he's the captain of a spaceship again. Only now it's actually literal, that it's real.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's nice, isn't it? It's this idea of no, you are washed up in terms of your acting. You finished doing this, but have fun with it anyway. It was good while it was there.
Yeah. Again, it's remembering that it actually meant something, and it's not just this cynical part of your past. Yeah, it's actually part of
So obviously, the main one that really feels that is Alan Rickman, who's like, ugh, this again.
Yeah.
But by the end, even he's like, no, okay, it was worth being remembered for, which is why I think Patrick Stewart, in the sense that early on he was very bitter, and then he kind of came around and was like, okay, no, it's good.
And of course, Tim Allen learns his lesson at the end. Like, it lets them all take a bow with him, because usually he hogs the spotlight, but at the end he's like, no, everyone come up, we can take it together. So, no, it's a very entertaining, very light movie. Like I say, there's actually good action sequences. Like all the stuff with flying the ship through the minefields, pretty cool.
Yeah.
Both the first time and the second time. Because the second time they deliberately go through it. Because Tommy just goes off to like practice his flying. He's like, okay, I'm just going to watch the tapes and just see if I can
remember what actions how I move my hands.
Yeah, because obviously he just made that up when he was.
Yeah. I think Alan says, well, the first time when he goes up below, it's like, put it on screensaver number 2.
Actually, it's one of those funny little moments. Actually, is they're all following his orders on the planet, and then Alan Rickman just turns around and says, "Wait a minute, why are we even following you? You're no more qualified to lead us than the extra." No offense.
He's right.
He is right. Like, I mean, maybe like one of them actually has experience in the military. Maybe they should be the one that should be leading the team. They have some, no matter how small it might be, like.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Yeah,
but he just takes the role. It's like, no. Look, we need someone to be a leader, so I'm going to step up and be the leader.
Yeah, exactly. But it's that thing where he clearly loves it. He takes the spotlight. At the start of the movie, you see him watching the old. He comes across it on the TV. He's like flicking through the channels.
And he says his lines along with just to prove he still knows them all.
He still got it. Yeah. But I think that's kind of the thing where he's eager to get back to his heyday. So he's enthusiastic. He's excited about this. He's excited to be on the space. When everyone else comes up, they're all shitting themselves. They're all scared. They're all terrified that they're actually on a spaceship. Whereas he's enthusiastic. He's like, no, let's do this. Let's be the adventurers because we have nothing down there. We have nothing on Earth to go back to. So he's excited, whereas everyone else is terrified. But by the end of the movie, of course, like they all kind of are glad they went through the adventure. They've all still got it. That's basically the
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, they've all still got it in them.
Yeah.
So no, I would fully recommend it. Obviously, this has been a later discussion. I feel like it's naturally bound to be with it being a later movie, but that's not to say that it doesn't have depth, because it has plenty of depth, just in a very different way than normally the movie discuss.
Yeah, it's more just the characters have their depth rather than the plot.
Yeah, and they all have the thing. Like, obviously, we mentioned Tommy learning to fly, Rickman actually getting to the point where he takes it seriously and actually wants vengeance, by Graflar's hammer. Actually, my favourite verse of that line is when they're opening the store, and he's like, by Graflar's hammer, what a savings. I love the way he says it.
It's his delivery that absolutely just... It makes it perfect.
That's so good. Also, I love that they're always in costume for these appearances, even though I feel like that never actually happens with the actual actors of these things.
That's true. It doesn't. Maybe on the rare big ones.
Yeah, but I feel like whenever you see them on a panel, they're always just in their own clothes. Like, because that was the thing. Even a few years ago when they had the big Avengers one, like, yeah, Tom Hiddleston came out as Loki at the start, but everyone else sitting at the table
and
wasn't.
the thing, I can see most of them, putting on the outfit, but it's putting on the headpiece for Rickman. Every time he goes out to all these things, it's like, Jesus, how long does that take? Who is doing that?
Yeah, who's doing that? Who's doing that for him?
I don't know.
Insane.
It's amazing. I don't know. We never see him without it.
I don't know. I don't have an answer, but no. It's kind of funny that this came at a time when it did, because I feel like at the time conventions were probably very Star Trek, maybe Star Wars, and a few other things focused. Whereas now we're in like a post sort of nerd world where so many things go to conventions now.
Yeah, I think it's kind of more interesting now in that sense of, just looking at the convention, the way it's kind of treated in the mainstream culture.
Yeah,
versus how it is now.
It's not an outside thing anymore. Now it's part of the system. It's part of...
Yeah, it's expected rather than just being this extra.
I mean, look, companies go to Comic-Con to announce things now. They make a big deal about it. They make announcements. They show sneak peek stuff at them and whatnot. Yeah. It's a big thing, and everything goes. Comic book stuff, sci-fi movies, all sorts of shenanigans.
Anything that can get away with it wants to be there, basically.
Yeah. It's just funny. It's weird that this is now 18 years old. Like, that is baffling to me.
It is.
I just feel like I'm getting old.
Also, it was 18 years between the where they did the show and their sequel at the end.
Yeah, now it's been as long for us since this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, that's scary.
That's weird, isn't it?
That's really scary.
Obviously I can't think of the exact dates, but was it about 18 years between Trek and the movies, the show finishing? Must have been about that.
Oh, the original series and the original movie. 66, 67, 68 to 79. Nah, it was more like 11, 12.
Alright, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just over a decade.
Yeah, I was just like, it's got to be around that sort of area. I knew it was double digits.
Yeah, not quite as much.
Not quite as much.
But, because Star Wars came out and was big, so then Paramount went,
so we want to do that.
We've got Trek, let's do Trek.
Can't blame them.
Let's do Trek. So, the movie's a blast. I still, if you're a fan of sci-fi movies, or you're a fan of Star Trek specifically, or anything like that, I think you'll get a blast at this, playing with all those tropes and playing with all the little...
I think it's fun, even if not, because it has, like you say, it has its own play, justifies its own existence rather than being just a vehicle for the jokes.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But if you're into those things and you're aware of those things at least, then you'll get a lot more enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, I think at its heart, like we said, it's this examination of what these things actually mean to their fans and the imagination, and the idea that they can actually do good by existing, that they give people an escape of some kind, and the idea that they can actually save the day is a really nice kind of message. And the fact that all the characters in the movie, and meaning the actors playing the it's almost like an Inception level thing where you've got the actual actors, and then they play actors who play characters on a show within the movie. You've got these layers, but they all have really good arcs that kind of like stem from those tropes. Like I say, it's a very, very tight script.
It is. It really. It doesn't overstay its welcome.
No, nice and to the point.
Yeah, it's really well paced as well, like, in terms of when the jokes hit. Like, you never go too long without one, but it's not constantly in your face either.
Oh, absolutely. And I love that sometimes the jokes aren't actually punchlines. Sometimes it's just a simple reaction
scenario
to something.
Just the idea of something is a joke in itself because of what we know.
Yeah, it's them reacting to something that's absurd and being like, "This is absurd." Or not even saying it, just the look in their face. But that's what's the funny part of it. You understand why they're reacting that way, and it strikes a chord. But no, that's Galaxy Quest. Before we go though, let's rate the movie out of 10.
I give it a solid 8. Very enjoyable, very solid. But it's rare comedies go above that for me. There's only a handful that ever do.
That's fair. Yeah, I think. I'm just debating if I want to go one nudge higher. That's all I'm debating.
I could maybe go up to an 8.5 at most, but it's definitely in that range.
Yeah, there's only a few comedies in existence that I would give a 9 or a 10. There's only a few. Yeah. It's not a genre that I would typically rate higher than this either. But I do think this is kind of Yeah, it's a solid
It's up
8.
there it's in the top tier of comedies for sure, but it's not like the very best of them either.
Yeah, most of my favourite comedies tend to be only half comedy. They tend to be half comedy mixed with something else, and this kind of falls into that category quite comfortably. So, yeah, 8's all around then from us. It's a blast. I love it.
It is.
So, by all means, let us know what you think of the movie in the comments. Obviously, this was the winner of the Patreon vote. There's another Patreon vote up for next month. All throughout the month of December, our patrons at $5 and up can vote on the January vote, which... What was the theme of that? It was future. It was going to, because our justification for this theme was it's the new year, so you look ahead, so future. I do promise though the one after that will be not sci-fi. I realise we've had two very sci-fi focused ones back to back, so we'll do something different for the following one. But the movies are A Boy and His Dog, Gattaca, Waterworld, and Automata. That was the last one. I knew I'd remember them. Yeah.
You don't always.
Give me time. I'll get there. So those are what are up for vote. Also remember the Vault. The Vault's the thing. We are going to try and do a movie from the Vault soon. The Vault, of course, is another patron thing where people can vote, or not vote, sorry, can submit movies to a to-do list, as it were, called the Vault. And every so often we'll pick one to actually do in an episode, or we'll put them into a vote for our patrons.
I think it'll be next week that our first Vault episode is, right?
It may be. I wasn't going to promise anything, but yeah, it may be next week.
I think it should be.
Yeah.
If I'm remembering the schedule.
So, no, that's something else to look at. And everyone can look at the list, though. Everyone, whether you're a patron or not, you can actually click on the link in the description and look at the list and see what's actually currently on there. But that is it. So, otherwise, get us on the Twitters at mailed_fuzz. Like I said, Patreon, that's patreon.com/mailedfuzztv if you want to support the show and support the channel and everything we do here and get a few bonuses and voting rates and all that kind of thing. I'm hitting my mic. How unprofessional.
You're getting very animated, aren't you?
I am. But otherwise, that is us. So thank you once again for watching or listening. We always appreciate it. We love you loads. Keep watching movies, guys. And we'll see you next time.